Hello, it's a pretty lovely good evening once again from here in Delhi, and hope as always that each one of you are absolutely fine, happy, and of course in fine spirit. And to everyone, all those who have just connected with us. तो बेटे किसी भी सब्जेक्ट के खास तौर से जब आप फाइनल लेवल पे आ गए हैं तो किसी भी सब्जेक्ट की जब आपको तैयारी करनी होती है, किसी भी सब्जेक्ट की तैयारी करने के लिए 3 इंपॉर्टेंट अहम स्टेप्स होते हैं. Correct? There are 3 vital steps wherever you are going to actually plan something very concretely. 3 इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेप्स कौन से होते हैं, और मैंने अपनी पूरे टीचिंग कैरियर में देखा है, और याद रखिए कि मेरा जो एक्सपीरियंस है वो नियर अबाउट ऑफ ऑलमोस्ट 4 डिकेड्स का हो चुका है. करेक्ट? नियर अबाउट 4 डिकेड्स. तो अपने पूरे एक्सपीरियंस से मैंने देखा कि बच्चे जो सबसे बड़ी चीज़ नेग्लेक्ट करते हैं, और ख़ास तौर से जब वो प्रोफेशनल लेवल में आ जाते हैं और वो भी फाइनल लेवल पे आ जाते हैं, हालांकि हम उनसे एक्सपेक्ट तो नहीं करते हैं, लेकिन देखने में ये आया है कि जो सबसे पहला इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेप होता है आपकी स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लानिंग का, वो होता है कि आप अपने सब्जेक्ट को, अपने सिलेबस को बड़े ध्यान से देखें, उसका थ्रेडबेयर एनालिसिस करें. आप देखेंगे कि यहाँ पर मैंने सबसे पहले लिखा भी हुआ है, 1 सेकंड का मुझे टाइम भी दे दें. तो सबसे पहला स्टेप मैंने कहा कि आपका ये होता है सक्सेसफुल प्लानिंग जो आपकी होती है. एक सक्सेसफुल प्लानिंग के लिए, मैं जब सक्सेसफुल प्लानिंग की बात कर रहा हूं तो मैं इस समय CFR सब्जेक्ट से रिलेटेड ही नहीं, किसी भी सब्जेक्ट से रिलेटेड बात कर रहा हूं. जब भी आप किसी भी सब्जेक्ट की तैयारी करते हैं, देयर आर 3 इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेप्स. द फर्स्ट स्टेप इज थ्रेडबेयर एनालिसिस ऑफ द सिलेबस. अपने सिलेबस का आपने थ्रेडबेयर एनालिसिस करना है. थ्रेडबेयर एनालिसिस का मतलब है बहुत महीन एनालिसिस. करेक्ट? कैसे करेंगे ये मैं आपको बताऊंगा. फिर दूसरा स्टेप आपका होना चाहिए सेग्रीगेशन ऑफ सिलेबस. आप अपने सिलेबस को सेग्रीगेट करेंगे, और इस स्टेप से हमारा क्या मतलब है इसकी चर्चा अभी मैं धीरे धीरे करूंगा. और तीसरा स्टेप होता है प्रायोरिटी. ये 3 सबसे मेजर स्टेप्स होते हैं जब भी आप किसी भी सब्जेक्ट की तैयारी खास तौर से प्रोफेशनल लेवल पे करते हैं. अब जैसा कि कुछ लम्हा पहले मैंने कहा, many people are telling actually sir kindly speak in English. In between I will keep on speaking in English also, don't worry about that. As I told you, first of all there are 3 major steps to achieve your target. और मैंने जैसे कि लिखा ही है, basically this particular session is being held so that each one of you become confident of scoring what we call 80% plus. And I'm not just joking. Correct? तो मैं बेसिकली बेटे ये चाहता हूं कि यू नीड टू एक्चुअली पे ग्रेटर अमाउंट ऑफ अटेंशन. तो 3 इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेप्स होते हैं. वन, एज आई टोल्ड यू, थ्रेडबेयर एनालिसिस ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट. अपने सब्जेक्ट को बहुत थ्रेडबेयर मीन्स यू हैव टू डीपली एनालाइज इट. एंड सेकंड वन इज सेग्रीगेशन ऑफ द सिलेबस, एंड थर्ड वन इज प्रायोरिटी. Now, what we mean by actually threadbare analysis, as I was talking about this particular fact that I have seen actually students neglect this particular step. It is of paramount importance for you that whenever you are going to actually prepare for a particular subject at final level especially, you need to have a very deep and very what we call nice understanding of your syllabus. Many a time I have seen actually students never pay attention towards this particular step, and in the examination suddenly they find a question and it appears to them as if this particular question is out of course. But the fact was that they didn't pay any what we call attention to go through the syllabus deeply, and that's why in the examination they were repenting. So it is of paramount importance why you need to do a threadbare analysis. Just to give an example, for example, when you are at professional level, especially if you are preparing for CFR, you need to be well aware of this particular fact that at least how many units are there in your syllabus, correct? Then what exactly is their marks allocation? What sort of questions and question framing will be there in the examination? Just to cite the example, for example, when we are going to later on when we are going to dig deep into this particular session, I will tell you that basically in your syllabus, corporate financial reporting, there are 6 units: section A, section B, section C, section D, and besides that, you have got section E and section F. So these are the what we call 6 units at your particular level. And besides that, you need to pay very good attention towards this particular fact that what exactly is the marks allocation of each particular unit. So in this case, if you are going to pay attention, you are going to find that section A actually encompasses nearly 25% marks, and similarly section B actually encompasses 15%, and so on. Section C 20%, section D 20%, section E 10%, and finally section F actually encompasses 10%. And most of you are actually well aware of this particular fact that as far as your formation of paper is concerned in the examination, actually all these things must be absolutely clear in the initial stages itself. Correct? For example, when you have something in your mind already, and suddenly that things come before you, you find a little bit more easy to tackle it. Correct? So that is the reason actually why you need to have question framing in your mind. For instance, you should know in advance that when you are going to face the examination, in the examination, as you know, your first question will be compulsory, number 1, and first question is of MCQ based, number 2, and each question will carry what we call 2 marks. In total, there will be 15 questions. There will be 15 questions. Each question will carry 2 marks. That means your first question will carry near about 30 marks. And this is something, correct, which really benefits you in the sense that when if you have prepared very well, then you can score 30 out of 30 quite easily, isn't it? And those students, if you are going to actually ask them, they will tell you actually how those who had actually subscribed to our courses and those who attended our revisionary session, and especially the MCQ session, they will vouch for it actually, how well we prepared them to face what we call this particular part. But anyway, at this particular moment, we are simply talking about how we need to prepare that. Then similarly, your question number 1 will be compulsory. As I told you, it will encompass 15 questions. Each question will carry 2 marks, total 30 marks. And after that, in section B, there will be total 7 questions and you are supposed to attempt only 5 questions. And we expect that each question is of 14 marks. So 14 into 5 makes it actually 70. So section B is 70 marks. However, there is choice, as you can see. And each question will have actually 2 parts, either A or B, or a particular question may have 3 parts, A, B, or C. I'm talking about section B. So when I say that you need to do a threadbare analysis, it is of importance that you need to note down how many units you have, what exactly is the marks allocation, what exactly is the question framing. Now we will dig deep into it. Still, we are under step number 1. We are analyzing your syllabus. When I am going to analyze your syllabus, as I was talking about, your first unit is section A, and each one of you by now are well aware of this particular fact, that this unit actually deals with Indian Accounting Standard. Indian Accounting Standard, that means Ind AS as we commonly refer to them. And this unit encompasses 25% mark. With patience, you need to actually go through which are the standards actually which are part of your course. There are so many Indias, to be very honest, at this particular moment in India, near about what we call 39 Indias. But in your course, we have got only 12 Indias. Your Ind AS 8 you have in your course. Besides, you have Ind AS 12, then you have Ind AS 16, then Ind AS 116, then Ind AS 21, Ind AS 23, 36, 38, Ind AS 102. You must have noted actually, I have written or printed this particular Ind AS in what we call different ink. Or correct? Why, I will let you know later on. But first, we will look over here, then Ind AS 108, Ind AS 113, and Ind AS 115. So these are the 12 Ind AS which are part of your course. We will see later on actually this particular chapter or this particular Ind AS, share-based payment Ind AS. Actually, later on I will tell you that we have divided your course into 4 parts. We have divided. Not the institute. We have divided your course into 4 parts. One practical part, another one is theoretical part. Is it clear to you? And then of course Ind AS part, and finally MCQ part. These are the 4 parts. And you will see, and that is the reason actually we are providing 4 books. We are providing 4 books, and those among you who have already subscribed to our courses must have noticed that we are providing 4 books. Our volume 1 comprises of all the practical chapter, volume 2 comprises of theoretical chapter, volume 3 comprises of Ind AS and MCQ, 4th volume. Why I'm talking about this particular fact here, actually we will see later on that share-based payment chapter is a sort of practical-oriented chapter. That is why we have kept this particular Ind AS under practical part. Is it clear to you or not? So this is the point number 1. Section A comprises of Ind AS. Then as far as section B is concerned, as I have already told you, it comprises of 15%. And in this particular unit, you are supposed to actually study 4 chapters. One is valuation of share, then valuation of goodwill, and then obviously accounting for financial instruments and NBFC, non-banking financial companies. Then as for, needless to add that all these are your practical chapter. And then section C is concerned as far as 20%, again it comprises. And section C actually deals with Ind AS 103. It deals with Ind AS 103, and Ind AS 103 actually is related to business combination, and it's a very formidable chapter. It's a very, very formidable chapter. So it is of paramount importance that you need to actually understand in the beginning itself, before you start the journey, correct? that not only you have to study business combination, because most of us actually sometimes think that because in the unit it is written business combination and restructuring, so we have to study only this. And sometimes we tend to overlook this particular fact that in this unit you need to be aware of also the difference between the Ind AS 103 and AS 14. And besides that, you need to study internal reconstruction. Since the advent or since the introduction of the new syllabus, what we have noticed almost in every year, a question from internal reconstruction is striking in the examination with great regularity and velocity. So that is why it is important, and that is why I am stressing time and again actually why you need to pay what we have greater attention, especially under step number 1, that is threadbare analysis. Correct? So, in fact, all these are practical chapters. In fact, we have to study all these things under business combination and restructuring. That means when we are going to study business combination and restructuring, we are not only going to study business combination, we will take amalgamation of companies also, and we will also take internal reconstruction. Then again, section D is also there. It again comprises of 20%. Again, it is a very formidable, very important and very long chapter, that is consolidated financial statement. No doubt, this is consolidated financial statement. But at the same time, in your institutes module I am talking about, some brief 2-3 paragraphs are also given with respect to Ind AS 27, Ind AS 28 and Ind AS 111. Consolidated financial statement is generally covered by Ind AS 110, no doubt about that, but at the same time, Ind AS 27, 28 and Ind AS 111, at least little bit of brief knowledge you need to have when you are going to actually do consolidated financial statement. Along with that, you need to know that you have to have a bit of idea regarding what we call AS 27, 28, 111, because from all these 3 standards, there were MCQs in the examination. You must have noted down also. Correct? So you should leave nothing to chance. This is of paramount what we call importance if you really want to achieve a very good score. When I say 80%, for that you will have to sweat it hard or with it, no doubt about that. Then finally, we come, not exactly finally, then your next unit is section E. Again, it comprises of 10%. And in this unit, actually, what you are going to find out. See, with the passage of time, accounts is developing, and the basic idea of the institute is to acquaint a professional student with the latest developments in the what we call accounting field. So that is the reason actually institute has introduced some theoretical chapters. Under this unit, actually most of the chapters are theoretical. For example, 4P, bottom line, sustainability reporting, business responsibility, integrated reporting, corporate social reporting, environmental, social governance, human resource reporting. Besides that, in it, under this particular unit, institute has included value added statement and economic value added. Actually, these are practical sort of chapter, and that is the reason actually why we have included it under volume 1. Is it clear to you or not? And besides that, again, theoretical chapter, reporting through XBRL and quarterly earning call management. So these are your theoretical chapter, and hardly 1 or 2 pages have been devoted in your institute's module. It is not a very hard topic, correct? I will tell you how you are going to actually do it later on. Then section F, this is the final one, and this again comprises of 10%, and here you are going to, again it is a theoretical chapter, this is government accounting. So now you have analyzed your what we call, correct, you have gone through your syllabus, not exactly analyzed, but you have gone through particular syllabus. Now when I say threadbare analysis, that means now you should be in a position to know exactly out of this syllabus, which one are exactly the practical sort of chapter and which one are exactly the theoretical sort of chapter, etc. For example, just have a look over here. We have already gone through what we call syllabus. Now what we have done over here, in fact, this is our first book, corporate financial reporting volume 1, correct? In it, we have included all the practical chapter. Correct? In this volume, that means these are the practical chapters which you need to do, and you need to do, obviously, you need to do everything with lots of effort and lots of intensity. You cannot be selective. Remember one thing. If you want to be selective, then definitely you are not going to touch this particular target which I have mentioned over here. So all the practical sort of chapter, business combination, I have already written, including amalgamation, internal reconstruction, then consolidated financial statement, then share-based payment. I told you we have included share-based payment under practical part, then valuation of goodwill, valuation of their non-banking financial companies, financial instruments, then value-added statement, and economic value-added and market value-added. So under the practical one, we are going to study all this chapter. This is what we mean by threadbare analysis, correct? Similarly, you have already now gone through your syllabus in its entirety, and we have already seen that which are our theoretical topic, and this is our second book, which is related to what we call all the theoretical chapters, and we have given very simplified notes, correct? So 4P bottom line, and I have already mentioned, so all the theoretical chapter, that is 4P bottom line, sustainability reporting, business responsibility, integrated reporting, corporate social responsibility, in ESG, we call it environment, social governance, and then human resource reporting, XBRL, and quarterly earning, call management, and government accounting. So these are your theoretical chapters, which is included what we call. Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to one and all, and we always wish and always pray to the Almighty to shower supreme amount of success in each one of you. I will talk about that later. And now, this is our third volume, Corporate Financial Reporting. Actually, in it, we have included accounting standard, and those among you who have already subscribed to our courses, they must have noticed actually how deeply we do the Indias, and how many examples and case studies we have kept in our module, correct? So these are this section actually is related to what we call all the Indias. I have already told you, which I have already mentioned earlier. And then you have got your fourth volume. This is MCQ, wherein we have kept lots of MCQ. So now you have made a threadbare analysis. Now, what is the second step in order to achieve what we call supreme performance in the examination? As I told you, once you have done up with the first step, that is threadbare analysis of the syllabus, now you should be in a position, and now under the second step, we need to know which are these practical one, which are the theoretical one, which are MCQ based one, which are what we call Indias based one. We have done that also. And your final step is now you should be in a position to give a priority order. Which chapter you need to do first, which in sequence. So this is the priority order actually. These sheets I am going to share you also. You can download them tomorrow actually through our Telegram channels. I will write the link in the message box later on. As far as priority order is concerned, now pay attention here, practical chapters. Which chapter you should do first? Such questions lots of students were asking, and sometimes they inquire of. So this is the order I have framed actually. In this order, you need to do your practical chapter. For example, first of all, you need to do India's 103, because unless and until you will not be very well familiar with India's 103, you will not be able to understand India's 110. So that's the reason actually India's 103 must be done first, and then it must be followed by India's 110, that is consolidation, and then you follow it up with valuation of goodwill and valuation of shares, and then financial instrument, and then NBFC, then value added statement, and then economic value added and market value added. This is the priority order. This is the importance order. Is it clear to you? Similarly, when you are going to prepare for the theoretical chapters, there are lots of theoretical chapters, as I have already told you. In fact, all the theoretical chapters, I have mentioned them over here. But the important point is that as far as out of theoretical chapter is concerned, in detail and in depth, you have to focus upon what we call government accounting and corporate social responsibility reporting. These are the two chapters which invite actually lots of attention and lots of hard work from the student fraternity. That means you need to do these two chapters thoroughly, comprehensively, and with great intensity. Regarding all other theoretical chapters, you can expect only MCQs in the examination. So if you know such things in advance, accordingly you can do the preparation. That is what we call major advantage which would derive out of a very good analysis. Is it clear to you? So these chapters, correct? From these chapters, and remember in your institute, hardly half page or 1 page is devoted for each particular chapter. So not a very hard topic. Only thing is that you can expect MCQs from these theoretical chapters, whereas from government accounting and corporate social responsibility, you can expect some short notes also. Now we come over to the Indias. I've already told you there are 12 Indias in your course, and out of that we have plugged out one Indias 102, which we have included under what we call practical chapter. So under the remaining what we call Indias, what should be the priority order? The most important one, in my opinion, is India's 115, correct? India's 115 is the most important one, and then it should be followed by India's 116 as far as importance order is concerned. Besides that, India's 36, Ind AS 36 is related to impairment of assets, then Ind AS 38, and then property, plant and equipment, Ind AS 16, and then it should be followed by income taxes, that is Ind AS 12, and then Ind AS 21 and Ind AS 23. So this should be the order of priority. Is it clear to you? Once you are done up with these standards, then out of these standards you can pick anyone, and you can pick anyone out of these. Correct? No particular order is required in these cases. So after having done a threadbare analysis, and after having able to segregate the course into theoretical portion, practical portion, MCQ portion, theoretical portion, notes portion, and then after having given them a priority, now you are in a position to face the examination and have a very good crack. Now another question now lingers before the student fraternity, sir, which course we need to buy? See, I should not be very biased one, but I hope that each one of you, whosoever are present over there, may agree actually that at this particular moment actually we are providing you the state of the craft. The state of the craft means the latest and high quality, what we call study material, and at the same time tutorials. In my opinion, what is the feature of a high quality course? When I say high quality course, in my opinion, a course should be such that it makes a three-phase coverage. Three-phase coverage in the sense that the course should be such that it should cover the what we call module, or all those books which is supplied by the institute. For example, if you are going to buy our course, we are going to, under the first phase, we are going to cover the entire module. When I say module, what does it mean actually? We are supplying you 4 books. So first of all, we are going to cover up all those 4 books, correct, number 1. And then, as most of you must have seen actually, with great regularity, we are holding almost every year revisionary sessions by the name of CFR Final Push. And it has become tremendously popular. So, and those among you who might have attended it, correct, or you ask from those who have attended these courses how much benefit actually they drove out of these sessions. So revisionary sessions we are also going to hold, and we are the only institute who are providing you full-fledged solutions of the past paper. Remember one thing, institute provides you only net answers, correct? And we are the only one. And for example, recently held paper, we are the only institute who have provided you full-fledged solution. I've already taken a video regarding that. Is it clear to you? I hope each one of you would agree, at least in this particular regard. So these are the basic features of our course, or you can say of a high-quality course. And I have already seen that many students who have already subscribed to our courses recently, they are asking 2-3 questions, in fact. So do we need to do the institute's module also? So my answer here is very, very clear. You need not require to touch even your module, to be very honest with you. Why? The reason is that we have already covered every nitty and gritty of your module. And besides that, we have included all the relevant, important, correct, expected questions from various quarters. Remember one thing, of late your institute is delivering you question from CA study material also. So your study material, you simply cannot bank upon your institute's module to tackle the examination. So it is important that you have a very high quality study material, and that is the reason perhaps we are the only what we call institute who are providing you 4 books, correct, 4 specialized books, hard books, not PDF copies. So here I hope you got the answer. Then many times a student asks us actually how to revise the course. Now how to revise the course, you need not require to bother about that. Correct? Because if you are going to subscribe to our courses, we are going to obviously provide you revisionary session classes. And even if you haven't actually subscribed to our courses, you can take the benefit, because ultimately prior to 2 months before the examination, we are going to hold revisionary session near about 25 to 27 sessions we hold. Not only the revisionary session wherein we what we call do the concept revision, but besides that, our revisionary sessions are such that you will feel as if you have done the entire course in its entirety completely again. And over there we are going to include all the questions of the past examination and the MTP questions. That means we are going to cover, along with what we call revisionary session, all the past papers, all the MTPs. Correct? So that's the way to actually revise. And this way, our revisionary sessions are generally held by us at least 2 months prior to the examination. How to prepare for the MCQ? We are already what we call providing you an MCQ book, number one. And second, we are also going to hold MCQ session as we just did a day before the examination. And most of you would agree, nearly 90% of the questions were from there. In which order video should be watched? This question has been asked so many times. When you are going to subscribe our course, when we are going to provide the course, we always write the numbering over there, 01, 02, 03. So in that particular order only, you will have to watch the course. Is it clear to you? And those among you, just one more thing I just wanted to tell you, those among you who have already subscribed to our courses, nearly 120 courses we have already sold out since the day of the examinations. And so you might be thinking actually that some of the folders are blank. The reason I have already told you, we are revising those what we call chapters, and from 28th of December you will start what we call getting that those what we call boxes are getting filled. What about the doubts? This is another question. We have 3-tier system, so you can get your doubts solved, and you must have noticed, those among you who have ever actually put up any sort of doubt, how quickly we are actually responding to the same. And revision, I have already told you 2 months prior to the what we call revisionary date. फिर आपसे next session में, till then it's time to say goodbye.